Hey guys, Chris here with Work to Game, and let's go over some Nintendo news. Now this week we did learn that Nintendo's free service will remain free until 2018 for online. And when it does release, we finally have a pricing structure confirmed. It's going to be $3.99 per month, $7.99 for 3 months, or just $19.99 for the whole year. But looking at this pricing structure, it actually leaves me with more questions than it does answers. They did reconfirm this as we're going to have a lot of free games available to us, and it's going to be more like a music streaming service and less like the rental service that they originally described. It's going to be, okay, as long as you're paying, you have access to our entire library to play as much as you want, whenever you want, all the time. Instead of what they were saying where it was like you check, a game will be available like Xbox Live, and you either get to keep it or it'll be like a 1-month rental, and at the end of that month, that game will be for sale, which seemed like the kind of service that you would see from Nintendo, since the monetization ability of it would be huge and it would tie perfectly into the Virtual Console. Now, they are only currently targeting NES, and if they're going to be looking into future consoles later, like SNES and so on, that'll be then, and we don't actually have any confirmation of that. They only confirmed 3 titles so far. That's Super Mario Bros. 3, Dr. Mario, and Balloon Fight. I hope there's more, but actually at $19.99 a year, that actually is kind of a fair concern. They went on to say that the Virtual Console described at release has no confirmation date of when it will come out, which means that the online thing that they're talking about and the Virtual Console are very likely 2 totally separate items. And then they confirmed that yes, the party chat and all that will be integrated, but it's actually going to be done through a phone app. By the time I have a console out and I have to get a phone out to chat, I open myself up to Discord, Skype. Even if I'm at a computer, then you have like Mumble and all these other things. I don't really know the advantage when you compare it to like Xbox Live Chat and PlayStation. And honestly, each game builds on whatever the platform sets. So for the platform to take this stance, I really don't know how developers are going to respond. You look at how Brian and I were kind of upset about how Destiny 1 was handled. Well, that was on the back of a very strong platform. So when you take a platform and say it's on the phone, does that mean that every game is going to have to develop some sort of integration there? I really don't even know what that looks like. I haven't seen a console take that route yet. We have no firm confirmation that we're going to have cloud saves available. That would be really nice, but we don't really know what the final piece of that's going to look like. Well, we can hope that a lot of these changes would come when they start to talk about third-party apps. If we could start to see, Netflix working really well on there, Hulu working really well on there, and maybe then we could start to see some chat integration and things like that. So maybe this app will go native, because they don't even have streaming available right now, and it really seems like a native Twitch app or something might be the way to do that if they're not ready to take on that burden themselves. Because even Xbox looks to have done that basically by purchasing Beam. And the PlayStation share really doesn't work horribly well as far as the total viewership, and then later your ability to monetize. Because when you talk about streamers, there are people in anything that are going to want to rise to the top, and the ones at the top are going to want to make a living doing it. And so when you talk about that share button, it's really just a question of what do they want that to look like, and do they even want that to be native? Because a capture card works fine, so you can still absolutely send this to Twitch. They just aren't going to be hosting it themselves. But when you can buy an entire year for almost the same as 1 month of Xbox Live or 1 month of Netflix or 1 month of HBO Now, the question is, how many of those classic games can we honestly expect them to port over, and what order can we expect them to port it over in? But when it comes to how tightly Nintendo controls revenue and control over their product, they really have to look at past examples of kind of how they've integrated. That's all we know. So when you talk about like the Nintendo Creators Program and all of this, it's a question of what is their intent. When you have the motivation of, I'm going to give people, 1 or 5 or 10 games for a month, and then at the end of that month, I'm going to take them away and I'm going to put them behind a paywall. That makes it almost like a Disney Vault with a demo. And so you're coming out and you're saying, hey, do you remember this game from 1987, this game from 1991, and this game from 1995? They were all incredible award-winning games of their time. You can try them, and then we're going to take them away and we're going to sell them back to you at, $2.99, $5.99, and $10.99. Whatever. I would have to buy that. I would play Paperboy. I'd remember how much fun it was, and then I could end up buying it. That makes sense to me. And if that's the model, then it feels like, okay, they're going to be encouraged to release games in an order that keeps us intrigued and purchasing. So that's going to lend itself to a little bit of variety, but it's also going to mean that those greatest hits, even if they're the hardest ports, are going to be the ones they begin tackling first. But with $19.99 a year, I mean, are they going to do anything that's hard? I mean, before I would have expected us to see a minimum of 12 titles a year, maybe more. Are we going to even make it to 6 now? I don't know. And maybe they are just going to do this to put their platform above everybody else's, and they're just going to release this whole library for free because we love you. I've just never seen Nintendo do anything that free. The party system does feel clunky. The rest of this news I don't expect to be expanded on until E3, which is right around the corner. They're going to be talking about Super Mario Bros. Odyssey. They're actually saying there's going to be some 3DS announcements. So I do expect us to learn more then. But this is what we got this week, and I'm excited to get some resolution. It's just starting to make me feel a little bit like the Wii U all over again, where we're missing some deadlines, and when they get here, they're a bit of a letdown. And I think that when they came out of the gate so strong, the console feels so good in your hand. Zelda's incredible. Super Mario Kart is incredible. My wife is playing Lego Undercover until, like, I don't know, she just seems exhausted when she wakes up the next morning because she stayed up too late. I am enjoying everything we get our hands on, and ARMS is about to release. It looks awesome. I really hope they're not looking to drop the ball later this year and that E3 is just going to impress us. But the question is, what do you guys think? Do you think that this is good news? Wow, at just $20 a year, and I don't even have to come up with my first 20 until January. Do you think that's going to make it easier for people to jump in and that there's going to be something fair? Do you think that that amount is actually too little to warrant, you kind of get what you pay for? Just let me know in the comments below. But as always, Brian and I thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.
Hey, it's me. Thanks so much for watching this video. You should click over here to see more videos just like it, or you should click down here to check out our recent vlog. But you can also click somewhere down here below to hit the subscribe button, as well as check out our other info. Again, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.